And welcome to Lyndhurst Community News. Today is Wednesday, April 26th, 2023. Now, before we begin, make sure to subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell so you will always be notified every Wednesday when a new episode is released. And you could also follow us on Facebook. Just search for Lyndhurst News. So welcome, everybody. My name is Brian Haggerty, and here's what's going on around town this week. Under some township news, the Lyndhurst Library has again purchased vouchers to the American Museum of Natural History in New York and a general admissions pass for a group of up to 6 to the New Jersey Aviation Hall of Fame and Museum in Teterboro through their library membership programs. The vouchers and pass are located in the library's children room and can be given to patrons with a valid Lyndhurst library card. So most people probably don't even go to the library these days. In fact, the internet has pretty much made libraries become almost a thing of the past. But we have a great library here, and there are always programs taking place. We're going to report on them, of course, here on Lyndhurst News. And also, the new parking lot, which is right across the street on the corner there of Valley Brook Avenue and Pine Street, is for library patrons only. So now there's not even a worry about where to park when you go to the library. And moving on, so under the direction of Public Affairs Commissioner Karen Haggerty and Health Coordinator Janine Barone, the Lyndhurst Health Department will be hosting a healthy eating presentation on Wednesday, May 24th, 2023, starting at 2 p.m. Now, this event will be presented by Sabrina Hauser. She is the dietitian from the ShopRite in Lyndhurst. Some of you may know her. She will be discussing healthy eating tips as well as providing some giveaways. If you're interested in attending this lecture, please call the Lyndhurst Health Department at 201-804-2500 to sign up. This event will be located at the Health Department at 253 Stuyvesant Avenue. In sports, the Lyndhurst Youth Soccer Camp, which is run by the Lyndhurst High School girls soccer coaches, will be held July 17th through the 20th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Lyndhurst Middle School. Now, this is for boys and girls aged kindergarten through 8th grade. Early registration is available through May 15th for $160. After May 15th, the cost will be $175. If you have any questions, email Coach Hikey at LyndhurstGirlssoccer@gmail.com. And, of course, I'll leave that down in the description box. Also, if your child or grandchild is interested in trying out for the 2023 Lyndhurst Youth Soccer Club travel program, which competes against other towns and travel programs in the fall and spring, visit LyndhurstSoccer.com and fill out the registration form. So Lyndhurst Junior Football and Cheering registration is now open. This includes tackle football for ages 7 through 13 for $175, cheering for ages 7 through 13 for $125, as well as flag football and cheer for ages 5 to 6 for $65. Visit Lyndhurst Junior Football on Instagram to register, or just email LyndhurstJRFootball@gmail.com. And again, see the contact information will be below in the description box. In our schools, so the Lyndhurst High School Hall of Fame dinner will be Friday, May 5th, 2023, at the Fiesta, which is located at 255 Route 17 North in Woodbridge. The cocktail hour begins at 6 p.m., followed at 7 p.m. by a dinner and the ceremony. This year's inductees will be Nicholas Spano, Gary Rinaldi, Louis DeMarco, Sean Kearns, Joseph Signa, Jennifer Sisman, Barry Linder, Nicolette Villani, and Patrick Rono. Also being inducted will be Coach Michael Rizzo and athletic contributor Frank Chizzy Vuno. For additional information, call 201-522-4553, and you can email LHSAHOF@outlook.com. For that email, again, see the description box below. What's going on, let's see, this week in churches, clubs, and organizations? Well, this Friday there are two events taking place in town. The annual Kenny Stevens and Dennis Terrace Scholarship Breakfast, which benefits Lyndhurst High School graduates, will be held at the American Legion, Post 139. The dinner starts at 7 p.m., and tickets must be purchased in advance. Also, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, their Church Rosary Society, is hosting a country dance evening at the Parish Center at 6 p.m. this Friday, which will feature line dancing, raffles, big games, and a horse race. And now a public service announcement. If you or someone you know has been having difficulty paying a water utility bill, the State Low-Income Household Water Assistance Program can help you pay arrears for your water bill and sewer bills. This program may also be able to help you address tax liens due to water or sewer arrears. Now, we don't have a sewer bill unless you use over a certain amount of water here in Lyndhurst, but then again, this applies to all Lyndhurst residents if you had a difficulty paying your water bill, as many have had since COVID. To get more information and to apply, go to waterassistance.nj.gov or call NJ211. See the description box for that information. And we end with Lyndhurst history. Once again, I want to thank Joe Caffone, who has written such an extensive book on Lyndhurst history and is constantly researching and finding new things all the time. So he sent this next thing to me, which is also part of a current project on which he's working. Because this upcoming May 7th marks the 89th anniversary of one of the greatest fires in the history of Lyndhurst, second only to the Canadian car and foundry explosion of 1917. Now, that was down in the Meadowlands. Most people today, newcomers to the township, don't even know that story. But yeah, in 1917, there was a big plant down there which had an enormous fire, and a huge investigation ensued over many, many years. In fact, there were munitions that were winding up on Ridge Road. It was people, my family happened to live up in the hill area, and they were fleeing that area for their lives at that time. So at about 10 a.m. on Monday, May 7th, 1934, a fire erupted at the United Cork Company, which was once found at the southeast corner of New York and Delafield Avenues. And that location right now contains the commuter parking lot right in front of ShopRite, as well as the Veterans Memorial. Now, this company had been in town since 1910. The current-day ShopRite, which is there on the property, is where this whole company stood. Now, the conflagration, which was attributed to spontaneous combustion, began in a storehouse and rapidly spread throughout the plant and then reached the adjacent J.H. Lehman Company machine shop. Nearby homes and other businesses were also threatened by the expanding flames. Newspapers reported that the fire companies from the towns of Lyndhurst, Rutherford, East Rutherford, Carlstadt, Hasbrook Heights, Hackensack, Wallington, Garfield, North Arlington, Passaic, Clifton, Belleville, Bloomfield, and Kearney, can you imagine that? Responded to the scene with 30 pieces of apparatus and hundreds of men to fight the blaze. However, water pressure problems and few hydrants in the area in those days, as well as a southeast wind, hampered the ability of firemen to extinguish the flames, which they battled for well over a day. Additionally, the company's internal water plant, which would have also provided water to fight the fire, had failed. Intense heat and heavy, pungent smoke were generated by the fire. The papers reported that the smoke was visible as far away as Jersey City. United Cork was almost completely destroyed. Most of the plant's buildings were lost, as well as 3 empty boxcars parked on a siding within the plant. A collateral problem the fire created was the estimated 6,000 spectators that the inferno drew, presenting a challenge for the Lyndhurst police to control. So, in more mutual aid requiring help to handle the large crowds, the Lyndhurst Police Department put out a call for mutual aid and were assisted by police officers from Lodi, Little Ferry, Westwood, Rutherford, East Rutherford, Carlstadt, Hasbrook Heights, Bergen County, Woodridge, Maywood, and Moonachie. Wow, that's a lot of mutual aid. The effort was aided to some extent by the extreme heat and smoke that kept the crowd from getting too close to the fire. 85 employees working at the plant when the fire erupted escaped without injury. 2 firemen were injured, but fortunately not severely. The fire was declared under control by 5 a.m. the next day, but it took additional hours to ensure it was fully extinguished. Losses attributed to the fire were estimated at $500,000. The record declared that the fire was the most disastrous in Bergen County. They obviously forgot about the Kingsland explosion of 1917, nevertheless, but a few months following the fire, United Cork applied for a permit to rebuild the damaged parts of the plant. However, the aftermath of the fire brought on protracted litigation between Lyndhurst and United Cork that was in part related to events prior to the fire. From the early 1920s, residents of the area adjacent to the plant had complained of smoke, cork dust, as well as noxious fumes continuously filling the air and affecting their health. The Board of Commissioners had made repeated requests for the company to effect changes that would control the pollution, but the requests were unfulfilled. In 1934, Lyndhurst successfully obtained a restraining order against United Cork to remediate the discharge of pollutants within 30 days or leave town. Now, because of the tax revenue generated by the plant, as well as its employment of many township residents, the township hoped the plant modifications would be made and the company could remain in town. United Cork, though, dragged their feet on making changes, essentially refusing to comply with the court order mandate. This procrastination by United Cork eventually led the township to begin the process of filing a contempt complaint with the courts. The matter was not fully resolved until August of 1937, at which time the company moved to Kearney. That's a great piece of Lyndhurst history. And again, so much of this work that Joe Caffone has done over the years, so many incredible, fascinating stories that most people today don't know. And even if you grew up here, you wouldn't know, because who's going to remember something like this from 1934? There are very few people still around who were around in 1934, and if they were most likely children. So we thank Joe for all the work that he keeps doing, and we'll be happy to continue to share much of what he is doing and his current projects with all of you here on Lyndhurst Community News. Anyway, folks, so that's it. It's a short news week, not much going on, but then again, there's always news to be had, which is why I always invite all of you to share your news with us at lyndhurstcommunitynews@gmail.com. Make sure to get it to us by Mondays at 5 p.m. as a cutoff, because we record these episodes every Wednesday morning, but of course we have to create the script and gather and consolidate all the news so we could report it to you. So if you have anything newsworthy, whether from your school, your team, your organization, your club, your church, or if you have a great anniversary coming up in your family or a milestone birthday, share it with us. We're happy to share it here on Lyndhurst Community News. And we also want to start doing more focuses on Lyndhurst businesses. If you remember a few weeks ago, we highlighted one of the new businesses in town, which is Vinnie's Mutz, which is located directly across from the town hall. And that's my good friend, Vinnie Morelli, who makes some of the best mozzarella, homemade mozzarella, as we say here, that I've ever had. But his food is phenomenal, and he gives you lots of it. So he's in what used to be Chris's Pizza, right across from the town hall. Give him a try. But let me know what other new businesses are around town, because I can't find all of it myself. I rely on most of you to give me the information, because we want to support local businesses. It is so important to support local businesses, because that's what helps keep a local economy going. That's what helps Lyndhurst in terms of having a commercial district, which we really haven't had for many, many years. But we want to make sure we support small business. It's the way of supporting Americana and America, and the way we want to keep this country, as well as this community, always remaining the family-oriented small hometown that it always has been. So anyway, folks, again, I'm Brian Haggerty. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell icon, click like, and share this with anybody you think will be interested and wants to keep up with what's going on around our town by supporting all of our residents in our community. Until next Wednesday, have a wonderful week. God bless you, and God bless Lyndhurst.